Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is CFI Mundum, and I want to take a look at this video today. I want to promote this type of content more often because I really like when YouTubers, and I'll do this myself when I start recording, in the plane videos, but I like it when people are vulnerable with their mistakes because one, you're approaching the mistake that you made with some humility. You're demonstrating that you've learned from the mistake, you know what you've done wrong, and you're not hiding it behind like a macho attitude. And then secondly, you're using your video to help people learn how not to do certain things, right? You make the mistake, you post it, we learn from it, no matter how big or how small. So shout out to this YouTuber right here. I'll go ahead and link him below. His name is Marcus Floyd, and I'll go ahead and leave him a like and subscribe. And you guys should do the same. So let's go ahead and watch this video together and kind of talk about what happened and give some scenarios about how this has happened to myself.
So I was trying to come in a little steep. My target speed was 60 knots. And I saw that I was
He's doing a short field, by the way.
too high, so I did a slip, but my slip was a little sloppy. Had an unstable approach, and there's my mistake. Did you catch it?
Did you catch it?
We did a go around, and I brought the flaps up all the way. That could get you killed.
Super common error right here, that as a CFI being in the right seat, I've learned to keep my eye on the students' flap settings when they do a go around. It happens so often at this point that I have to look the entire time because I'll say go around. The moment that I say go around, panic, lizard brain takes over, flaps go all the way up. I have to slap them back down. And it happens all the time with new students. I've done it. You've probably done it. We've all done it, right? This is a pretty common mistake. And I'm really glad that he posted this and kind of admitted to this. And he is right in saying that this could have been fatal. I literally covered an accident, like 2 or 3 days ago, where the student retracted his flaps at an improper time and it caused him to stall spin. Now, why this is dangerous is a couple of reasons. When you have 30 degrees of flaps in and you go from 30 to 0, what happens is you're going to, and he's in a climb too, so his angle of attack is up. Where's my miniature plane? So you're coming in, right? And let's say the runway's down here, you do a go around, you start climbing away. Right now you're in a dirty configuration, so that means that your stall speed is going to be lower. But as we retract those flaps and our angle of attack is still high, we start to move into something called a clean configuration, which means our stall speed goes up. So instead of stalling at, let's say, I don't know, whatever your guys' plane is at in a dirty configuration, 39, 40 knots, depending on weight and density, altitude, and other factors, but let's say around 40 knots. When you retract the flaps to 0, you increase your stall speed. So now you're potentially stalling around like 55 knots, 50 to 60 knots. I would say, I think what is it for my plane? I think it's like 59, 58, something like that. Like I said, it depends on weight and center of gravity and stuff too. But you're coming in, you move to a clean configuration and your angle of attack is up. So you move closer to that critical angle of attack, which is approximately 16 degrees. All right, so what happens is people do this go around improperly. They increase their angle of attack. They're starting to get slow. They retract all the flaps. They start to lose. They start to fall like this. They panic, improper controls, and then they stall spin. All right, I think one of the most common things I've seen in doing these videos is that people retract the flaps at the wrong time. They start to sink and they panic because they're getting closer to the ground. So they increase their angle of attack and they start to do that wobble like that, and it leads to a stall spin. So he is right in saying that this could have ended up really bad. Luckily, it looks like he had some altitude to his advantage. If you watch the video back, it does look like he loses a little bit of altitude. You're going to lose a little bit of altitude.
A little sloppy.
Also, what's your guys' opinions on doing slips with 30 degrees in? I want to hear, because I actually, so if you look on the panels of all the planes that I fly in these flight schools, they say not to slip with flaps in. And I don't want to misspeak here, but I was always in the impression that you could slip with flaps in up to a certain extent. Slipping with 30 degrees in with a newer student seems really, really risky. Slipping with 10 degrees in is doable. But I want to know what you guys think when it comes to you being a CFI or what your instructors have done for you. My point is consult the POH. The POH trumps all, and ask your flight instructor, okay? But he says right here that he starts slipping with 30 degrees in, and I'm like, interesting.
At an unstable approach.
Now, at this point, guys, when you do your go around, and I'm not bashing on this guy. I love him for posting this. It just makes it really easy to talk about because he's being so open. When you do your go around, don't panic. Take your time. Break things up into little pieces, right? So you say go around for whatever reason. Apply that full power. Depending on your trim, you're going to have to put some nose down. If you have a lot of nose up trim, you're going to have to push that nose down more, retrim, whatever. I don't trim for landing. Some people do. And then, stabilize the aircraft. Push the nose down. Gain that airspeed. All right. Retract from 30 to 20. And then my procedure is once I get a positive rate of climb, right, I'm trending upwards, then I retract from 20 to 10. And then once I get closer to VY and I'm well away from the runway, I go from 10 to 0. That's my procedure. But the mistake that a lot of people make on a go-around is that A, they panic, and 2, they don't have proper go-around techniques. They don't incrementally put up the flaps.
Approach, and there's my mistake. Did you catch it?
Let's watch it again right here.
But my slip was a little sloppy.
So there's the full power. He's looking at the flaps.
At an unstable approach, and there's my mistake.
Yeah, you could definitely tell. So he's doing the right thing here, is that he knows that he made the mistake, right?
At an unstable approach, and there's my mistake. Did you catch it?
He knows right here that he has to push the nose down a little bit because he can't increase that angle of attack to a point to where it can induce a stall spin. So maybe it's him or the instructor, but anyways, it looks like it's him. This is a great catch.
We did a go.
And this happens to everyone. It's happened to me. It's probably happened to you. It's happened to this guy.
Round, and I brought the flaps up all the way. That could get you killed. Like I imagine doing that. I have my IFR rating, and I imagine doing that. What if I was coming down and I was at my minimums, and I just broke out of the clouds. What if I couldn't see outside, and then I did something like that?
A whole lot of what ifs here, right? The Swiss cheese model. What if you were at a lower altitude when you decided to go around? What if you got distracted by your airspeed? What if you had crosswinds? What if the density altitude was high? I operate out of an airport that has up to 8,000 feet density altitude sometimes. And it's a lot harder to get away with stuff like this at these airports. So yeah, he's absolutely right. You start running through these what if scenarios after you make a mistake. Like, what if I was doing this instead of that? Or what happens if I banked a little bit more to the left or something? All these scenarios start going through your head and you start beating yourself up. And that's a normal response to making a mistake. But when you're still in flight, you got to keep a cool head. You got to just take a breath and just move forward to the next phase of flight. Also, this looks like California.
And I know this rule. I know without a doubt. That rule is baked into my brain, and I did it anyways. So, and it got me thinking. I could
This is the point when you're starting to turn crosswind. You're just like, I cannot believe I just did that.
definitely be one of those guys that forgets to put the landing gear down when I'm coming in to land.
My nightmare. I'm telling you, I'm doing multi-engine training right now. I've done my complex training, and not putting the landing gear down is my absolute nightmare. And that's why you run through your CC Gumps checklist. I flew with this student the other day, and he said, what's the point of a Gumps checklist if I'm not flying a complex, if I'm not flying the multi, right? Gas, undercarriage, mixture, propeller, seatbelts. Gas, fuel selector valves on both undercarriage and a Cessna 172. Okay, great. My wheels are there. Mixture, okay, rich. Prop, got a prop there. But what are you really checking for? Well, and when you move to the complex and the multi-engine, gas, fuel selector valves on both, but undercarriage, right? That's your gear coming down. I get it. You don't have a gear that comes down in a Cessna 172. But you're getting used to that flow, okay? And start doing that when you come into the pattern, when you take off. Get used to the CC Gumps checklist, okay? Mixture, prop, you're checking to make sure that, manifold pressure is all the way up. Seatbelt switches, okay? This is why flows are so important.
That could definitely be me.
Yes, this is actually a good attitude, is that he's being humble and realizing I could actually make those mistakes, because the hazardous attitude that we've all taught in school is it can't happen to me, right? Invulnerability. Nah, it can't happen to me. I wouldn't make that mistakes. Wrong, buddy. It can definitely happen to you, I promise.
So yeah, stupid mistake. Could have got me in trouble. Could have ended up on pilot debrief. And
That's my nightmare too, is ending up on pilot debrief. I knock on wood, right? That is my nightmare.
there you have it.
When I have like a close call with a student or something, I just imagine myself in a thumbnail, and I'm like, no, I don't even want to think about it. I'm not going there.
That was my big mistake. So yeah, like I said, I want to put my mistakes on here so that hopefully other pilots can
Thank
learn
you.
from my mistakes too.
Thank you. This is huge. I love this attitude. This is super healthy. We need more of this in the aviation community.
We're all pilots. I forget the pilot channel that always says this, but
You're not gonna be a better pilot until you not until you start making mistakes, but start learning from your mistakes. You can learn just as much from doing the right thing, doing the wrong thing, as you can doing the right thing. Arguably more. And some mistakes you only make once, and you're like, I am never doing that again. Some mistakes you'll make over and over and over again, to the point to where you drive your instructor crazy, you drive yourself crazy. It's gonna happen, but guys, we have to learn from these mistakes.
they're not the only one who says this. But a good pilot is always learning. Learn from your mistakes, learn from others'
The forever student. That's what I call myself.
mistakes, and continuously strive to become a better pilot every time you fly. And even when you don't fly, strive to become a better pilot, study up, learn more things.
This guy's calling me out right now because I'm 7 days into an inversion with 200-foot ceilings and quarter-mile visibility, with a multi-engine check ride coming up.
So that's it. There you have it. Me committing the ultimate sin of
Believe it or not, there's worse.
retracting the flaps on a go around. You got to give your plane some time to build up speed so that way you don't stall.
That's the thing. Be patient on a go around. Let your plane build up some speed, stabilize the aircraft. Take your time, okay? No, very few go arounds that you'll ever conduct are ever going to need and require adrenaline, cortisol, and panic. I promise you. You can take your time most of the time.
Because you've got to remember, stall speed increases when you retract the flaps. That's the important rule to remember.
Great, dude. I love this video, man. Shout out to you for giving this video, Marcus Floyd. Go ahead and like and subscribe to this YouTuber. I want to promote more content like this. And a couple of things. When you guys find a video like this, send it to me. My email is cfimundin@gmail.com, okay? Coming up here in a couple weeks, I'm going to be doing some product reviews on these iPad mini cases and also these mounts. I'm switching from a knee board to a suction cup mount for IFR training, and I really want to see how that works. So I'm going to leave a review on this. I have a discount code for Flyboys below if you guys want to use it. It's 10% off, or it's right here somewhere. So this will be happening in a couple of weeks. But yeah, leave them a like and subscribe, and send me an email if you guys have any more video recommendations, okay? See ya.